Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. Alright, well, this is Motorsport Manager. This is episode number 3. In between episodes, we have had our second race, where we finished just outside of the top 10, but the only reason for that was a half a dozen cars who were unable to finish the race. We were in the back of the field throughout the race. We were able to pass one car on the final lap who really struggled to make it to the end. Again, a tire issue on that one. And one other car who had a major part malfunction and just made it into the pits, and then we're able to get back out. Looking at the car now, our work on the brakes is pretty much done for the year. We have slotted into 9th place, but at least have a competitive part now. And now we have done the same with the suspension. It's still the worst on the grid, but much better than it was before. However, those parts are not yet on the car. Reason being is their reliability. So the brakes are good to go. 90% reliability, though the performance has not been improved upon just yet. There's lots of room for improvement there. Right now we're focusing on the reliability of the two suspension parts that we have added. They have identical performance and identical reliability, but they are not yet equipped on the car, as we are spending most of our staff power to get those improved. They were at 20%, they are now at 40%, and hopefully by our next race we can get those parts fitted to the car. And now we have begun work on our gearbox. The first one is already done. The second one is most of the way done on the design work, and that is more about next season than this season, as it's going to be a while before we're going to be able to get those onto the car. Alright, well, we are heading to the race weekend in England. This is the old airport that was converted to a racetrack. We are definitely not going to finish in the top, even though we are still at the minus $1.5 million. Finishing 11th would be a higher than expected performance. Last race we finished 12th and 13th. Alright, so in the GP3 category, at least with the current set of rules, there is no qualifying. It's reverse order of standings. So practice is all important to getting your setup, especially with the short time available on practice. So that's going to be our focus here as we head to the practice session. From there, it's going to head straight to the race weekend, where we're going to get through this race within this episode. Alright, so as we're heading to practice, it looks like it is raining heavily already. So that will have an impact. Though it's supposed to be a very quick shower, and it's supposed to stay relatively dry on the track, at least for the next few minutes. So with that in mind, question: it's 3 minutes. That's a lap to get out, a hot lap before we come back in. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and set up the dry weather, not intermediate tires. Let's see, set up. Now this track is pretty abrasive, so these super softs might not perform very well, and there's not much of a difference between them and the softs, but there's a decent jump in durability, so we are going to be running softs for the most part this race weekend, I believe. And I'm going to go ahead and send both cars out. Looks like speed balance wise, we're going to have to go towards top speed, not acceleration, because I'm going to go back and switch the other car over, even though that's in their range. I know that they're going to be relatively close to each other, so practice. Get both cars out right away. Everybody else is on the intermediates. That's okay. And when I run practice, I try to run practice quickly. So we are at speed 12. Let's go a little bit, see a little more of the track. Okay, both drivers are in their hot lap. This is all about making adjustments, not about running placement or speed. And both have finished their hot laps. Set them to come in as we need to, especially with this very short practice session. We only have 8 minutes to go and we're still out on the track on our first run. It's hard to make those adjustments. Alright, they're heading into the pits to save time. I'm going to slow it back down to speed 1. And I think Gomez is, there we go. Send it back out immediately, make the adjustments. We're already down to 7 minutes in the session, and we've literally had one run. Our first run was 82%. The speed adjustment was perfect. Wow, look at that. What a call. I'm glad I made that decision to change that. Downforce is not too bad. Handling is way off, so we're going to have to add a lot of understeer. Alright, well, the question on the downforce, whether to go low or high on that, it looks like cornering's going to be a big thing in this race. So we're going to add some downforce. Go this way. That's good, so we don't want to go too far. And we definitely want to make a sizable adjustment to the handling. We need to get that speed balance right back in check. That should be close enough right there. Alright, trim set. I'm not going to spend the time to change tires. We're going to head back out with those tires. And get our other driver adjusted as well. Anthony is not as good on the feedback, so it does take longer to get Anthony adjusted. Speed balance also perfect. And then downforce and handling are going to need work. Now we went this way. We'll test that out with both of them. And that corner, that's going to need a lot of work. And there you go. Work done in the pits, and now heading back out on the track, so they're on their out lap right now. Not bad for that first time around, of course, as we came in starting at 8. However, I think everybody else was on inters while we were running softs. Light rain continuing, but it looks like it's going to increase. Both drivers are on hot laps right now. This lap will get them brought back in for one last adjustment for this session. And that's all we get. That's why it's so hard to get the balance. It's so crucial. Alright. Back again, we've got 2 minutes left. So this is going to be it. We only added 4% from first to last. It looks like we went the wrong way on the downforce, but we made great progress on the handling. So if the good was between the N and the F of downforce, we want to bring that the other way. And that's where we want to be. Now the handling was poor, now it's great. We probably want to go a little on the left. Just a small amount. Go. And keep that speed balance right where it was. Excellent, we'll take that. Continue to work on race trim. And we're going to stick with those tires to save the time in this session. Alright. And we're going to be making similar adjustments for Anthony, who only added 1%. This would be a really poor setup going into the race. However, the major adjustment is how poor the downforce was. We went the wrong way. Go, head over the O. We were poor when we were between the N and the D, so we do want to bring that a little bit to the left. online. Alright. Both cars are going to have a very similar setup for this race. We'll see if we can at least get them both above 90%. And we have 2 minutes left to run in this session, so we're just going to run that time out. And then we'll be heading into race day, seeing where we're at on the setup. We've got our soft tires up to level 2 unlocked. So we'll be taking that perk into the second game. Into the race, I mean. And race trim level 3 is unlocked, so we'll also use that as well. As time is running out, as they are both on their hot lap now. And we only hit 18th and 19th on the grid in terms of time, so we are looking slow heading into this race. Alright, we head to the race weekend. Our sponsor target is 11th or above, but it's only 300,000 for that bonus. So I'm not going to put much stake into that. We are just going to focus on getting the best position we can get. Both drivers are going to end up with the same set of perks. Looks like we are dry for the first 5 laps anyway. Setup jumped to 97%. Speed balance was excellent before. We can maybe get that 1% back as we head into the race. It's so close though. That would be the difference. And we were great. That would be one excellent, one great. We'll take that. And we're gonna run the softs. Take the bonus right there. We're gonna have 10 laps of fuel. It's gonna be a 23 lap race. With 10 laps of fuel, you could almost stretch that. But no, we're not gonna try. It's gonna take 2 pit stops here. It would be something if we could find a way to stretch that. Run just 1 pit stop. I think we'd lose a lot of time if we did that though. Alright, and we're going to stick with the setup here, 97%. Handling not quite right, but Anthony's going to have to make do with that. Soft tires. Driver strategies. Grid position 6th and 10th overall. That's the reverse order of our standings right now. Start strong, push early on, see if we can grab a position or 2 off the start, and then we'll settle down. Alright, so we're ready to start the race. And we're starting 3rd row for Gomez. Standing start. Lights ready to go out. And 3rd race of the season is underway. Both cars started strong, but it looks like they got backed up by a weak start of the car ahead. Oh! Anthony runs wide on the start. First corner. Overshot the corner. Broke too late. And lost quite a few positions right off the bat. Not a good start from Anthony. Welcome to GP3. We were supposed to have the strong drivers. Right, both cars are actually sliding backwards, but that's to be expected. The cars in the back of the field are the better cars. Alright, neither car is making progress, so we're going to go right off the bat and reserve this fuel. Pit stops matter greatly here. Looks like we're nice and sunny here early in the race. That's going to be important. Speeding them up just a little bit here. It's still early though. We do have tightly contested positions, but we are definitely slipping backwards. A lot of side-by-side racing, 3 wide there for Gomez, as Gomez loses not 1, but then 3 positions as 2 more cars slip up. Alright, basketballs at the same time. So we are shuffling backwards quickly. taking note though, not very many cars opted for soft tires. Most went for the super softs, which means they're going to run a little bit faster. They are also going to be needing to pit sooner than we are staying out that longer. That's just going to help us get to the end of the race in a better position and maybe save a little time in the pits. Gomez trying to hang on, but continuing to slip back. Gomez in 14th now. Anthony is almost back to the back of the field. One car remained by Anthony. And before we start running these tires hot, let's go ahead and back off. Back off. And we're just going to run neutral. And time speed up here. Watches these cars slip further and further downfield. It's back to 60 now. Anthony in last. Our fuel under 5 laps, so we're not going to be running a whole lot longer. And the other cars actually seem to be hanging on so far. Expected pit stops to start. There's the first car in the pits. A lot of super softs might be stopping on this lap. We've got a few more laps that we can get around. Yeah, quite a few cars just stopped off in the pits. Both cars up into the top 11 due to those pit stops. But a couple cars that did hang on. Let's slow things back down here. Right, a couple cars that did hang on for that extra lap actually ran themselves real slow. We gained quite an advantage. Only 5 cars left out on the track, all on the softs. Our tires have actually outlasted the others by quite a bit, but looking at our fuel loads, I need to get one of them in now. So let's go ahead and get Gomez in. No, cancel. Gomez, 42% left on those tires, while Anthony has just 33%, so we're going to get Anthony in now. And we're going to run the softs one more time. The super softs for that final stint where we can try to push hard towards the end. We're going to have a little bit slower pit stops today. Pit crews were a little bit fatigued, so we're going to have higher chance of mistakes. We did have to sub out a few of the pit crew, so they are not very strong for us here in this race today. And Anthony heads into the pits from 5th place. Good so far. Just fueling left to finish. First cars are starting to come by that were out on the track as we're cycling through. We're down 14th, 15th, and we're going to hang on to 15th, so not bad. We gained 5 positions from the back of the field up to 15th, so good job there. Gomez is going to run out of fuel if we do not stop on this lap, so we're going to do that now. Part condition not looking good on that suspension. Could be a factor later on. 16 seconds expected for this pit stop. So here's what we've got left in those tires. Push it here these last couple corners. And Gomez from 2nd place into the pits, so next to last car to stop. That the leader is also in the pits, so we're among the last 2 cars to head into the pits. Down to just fueling now. So far, so good. No mistakes. The whole season so far. Pit crew's actually done a fantastic job, though they've been pretty slow. Gomez coming out. Looks like might slide out into 14th. Yes, hangs on. Heads around the first couple corners, and we are running 14th and 15th. Considerably better than where we were before that round of pit stops. So, the other teams on those super softs, though they ran faster on the track, they actually did themselves some harm in that they ran their tires too low, ran that extra lap, some of them, and lost a whole bunch of time. Still, we'll take that. We'll keep riding with the soft tires, at least through this round of pit stops. as we are now 14th and Anthony slips to 16th. Every car on the track is running the softs, but our condition's a bit better as we pitted later. So hopefully at least can hold on to these positions for a while and speed time up a little bit. So we've got 7 laps of fuel. Anthony's probably going to be pitting first, as Anthony tends to not do as well on tire wear, and the fuel has one less lap for Anthony than it does from us. 10 laps left in the race. We are decently holding on to our positions here of 14th and 16th, and our second round of pits is already getting underway as the first car has pit. Looks like a few more in the back of the field that will also be pitting soon, so we are starting to slot ourselves ahead of other cars once again, and we should, unlike them who are having to run softs, we should be able to go on those super softs for the last few laps. Slow things back down. We're on lap 18 of 23. We have slotted up to 4th and now 6th place respectively for 2 drivers. There's quite a gulf to the top 3 drivers, so we're not going to make too much progress there. We do have a few cars now coming out on super softs to finish the race, and we will be doing that as well here shortly. Gomez is hanging on, tires are just starting to get a little bit hot, and Anthony has 2 laps of fuel left. And we're coming around the long bend into the final hairpin turns to the front stretch. I'm going to go that one more lap. I'm going to go ahead and push it. There we go. So we're going to push towards the end here. This is the final lap for Anthony before coming in. We're going to put on super softs. We're going to get just enough fuel, which we'll need 4 laps worth. We'll have a little bit extra on board. Parts look like they should be good to go to the end. It's only going to take us 11 seconds on this stop. So job well done by both of our drivers to get to the end and be able to make up a few more seconds here in the pit stops. Let's see where we come out after this pit stop. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to speed up until we head to the pits, but I'll slow back down once we get there. So, moment's truth. Has our pit stop strategy worked? Is it going to pay off? Here we go. So Anthony heading into the pits from 8th position. Hopefully a quick stop here. Good on the jacks. Tire change is good. And our quick fueling, done. 11.3 seconds in the pit. Heading back out. We do have excess fuel already. Start to push that. And only a few laps to go. So we are going to push to the end. And now Gomez. Already on the back stretch. And Gomez. Switch to the super softs, and we do not need a whole lot of fuel here, just 3 laps worth. Car condition, that suspension hurting at 24%, but as close as we are, we should make it. What kind of risk do we get? 26%, 8 seconds. Let's see if we can make something happen. First time we're going to go ahead and push it. Take a risk. Anthony came out in 16th position, so pretty much where we've had been all along. And Anthony's going to push all the way to the end, and Gomez can do the same as we are going to head in for our final stop. Does it pay off? Do we save 2 seconds, or is the mistake? There's a mistake. Rear jack. Lost some time. We did not gain. It ended up taking 11.1 seconds. So about 1 second longer than it would have been without a mistake. So it did not pay off. We have almost 4 laps worth of fuel left, and we are in the final 3 laps. So we don't want to push too much here. leader has 2 laps, but we have about 2.5 laps to go. So with that in mind, I don't want to push too hard on the engine mode, otherwise we might run ourselves out of fuel. But we are definitely going to push those tires as they are enough to get through 2.5 more laps. So Gomez came out in 14th place. Anthony in traffic in 16th, so let's go ahead and check that out. Car just ahead, 0.6 of a second, and just over a second back to 17th. Right, no sign of problems on the cars ahead. We are just about far enough into the season now that we should see fewer and fewer mechanical issues or crashes coming about. In fact, last race there was a half a dozen cars that did not finish, and today, with the final lap underway for the leader, just a lap and a half to go for us, not a single car has dropped out of this race. So to be in 14th and 16th place is not too bad, considering we're actually running head-to-head with a whole bunch of cars. We have not seen a single car have to make an additional pit stop due to car condition or anything else. Alright, final lap underway. 14th and 16th. Can Anthony make a move and grab us one more point before the end of this race? Gomez's position is pretty secure unless someone drops off. There are a couple drivers on the Super Softs that are pretty low on that tire condition at this point in time that are up ahead. Kari is losing time dropping to 9th because of that, but they don't seem to be dropping rapidly. Cars are finishing. Looks like we are going to stay in these places unless Anthony can make a move here in the final turns. The gap has closed, less than half a second behind, but unable to catch up, and we finished 14th and 16th. Alright, one car left finish, then speed up time so that he can do that. They were quite a ways down. There we go. As he gets the win on the day. Did have problems with the car, but not enough to stop them from winning the race comfortably, almost 16 seconds ahead. Not a bad performance. Car's definitely getting better. We are coming along, so hopefully we can have a decent finish on this season. We can look to next season for maybe mid-table, and the season after competing for the win and the promotion to Formula 2. It's early days though, we're only 3 races in. Alright, so we pick up 7 and 5 points, so we're going to pick up 12 points from this race. And with that, our 2 racers are actually level on points, 14th and 15th overall in the standings, 24 points apiece. That is 48 points as a team, which ties us for 7th place currently. So, considering our expectation was 10th, we're a solid 30 points ahead of High Tech Racing at this point. So, our race team has started well. If we can keep this up and hover around the near midfield, that would be a fantastic season for us. So with 48 points on offer, we're doing pretty well. We're picking up at least a decent amount of points on the season. But that does it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe. And tune in next time on my road